It's grand final week in the MPCA, and then the next week the MPFNL football season gets underway. So no rest for the wicked if you play cricket and footy and you're in the finals. If you're in the finals, congratulations to all the teams and what's been a great season. And what an outstanding round of semi-finals we had. My name's Dan Lonigan. I'm here for the MPCA Cricket Show to review the semi-finals, to preview the grand finals. And we're here for Swift's Locker. And congratulations to Washington Park and Ryan Hayward and his team. And he's involved with Swiss Locker. You can go down to their showroom at Cheltenham. And he has provided us, and we'll have the winner of our Player of the Year next week, who'll win the cricket bat. He's provided us with gloves every week for a Player of the Round, and there have been some magnificent performances right throughout the season. Also, GameFace Vision were there for day one of the grand final this week at this stage. Looking forward to the big grand final, and we'll welcome our guests in a second. The provincial grand final, same two teams as last year. Red Hill, who won it, take on Pines. Pines will be hosting that game, so looking forward to that. And also Brenny Brothers Brewery, Telstra Business Technology Centre of Melbourne South, and Blackout Electrical. And our guests, Glenn Collett from the Red Hill Cricket Club, as they aim for back-to-back. Welcome, Glenn. Good to have you with us.
Thanks, Dan. Good to be here.
And Billy Humphrey, the captain of the Pines Cricket Club. We had the great man Ricky Ramsdale last week. We've got Billy with us again today. Welcome, Billy.
Thank you.
Now, congratulations, Bill. You're in there again. You thinking about last year? I mean, is it time to right the wrongs of last year, or last year was last year?
Yeah, a little bit of both. Last year is last year, but you still got to, I think we take it into this year and yeah, try and right the wrong, as you said, and I don't know, go one each, I think would be nice.
Yeah, we've played in a few over the years now. What's that? Is it 1-1, I think, now, isn't it?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
I think it's 1-1.
It might have been a subby one.
Yeah, it was a subby one, yeah.
So,
what did you learn? I mean, I know last year's 12 months ago. I mean, you were the best team all year by a fair way and just had a bad day with the bat.
Yeah, it was a bad day.
It was unfortunate, wasn't it, that it was the grand final?
Yeah, it could have been better times, but game probably turned when we threw the ball at Darty and cricket gods went against us, but that is what it is.
And Glenn, good performance by your team. You lost more games than you won in the home and away season, but you found a way again against Langwarrin. Yeah,
we seem to do it. We obviously understand that you don't have to be the best team all year. You just have to be the best team for the last 2 weeks in, March, early April. So, we're getting good at it, which is good.
You batted well. Simon played. He had an ankle injury. He didn't bowl, but again, he made runs. I mean, how does it feel having him in the team, knowing that he's likely to contribute every week?
Yeah, it's good when you've got someone in the team that averages 70-odd, so you can sort of pencil that in most weeks and just work around it. So, no, it's good. It's everyone, any of those type of elite players, when they're in your team, everyone walks a bit higher around them. So, yeah, it takes the pressure off a few lads, which is great.
And you bowled your heart out as well. You got 4 wickets. So did you feel with Simon out of the side, you had to leap in the front?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, obviously had to bowl a little bit more and have been at the back end of this year. It's a little bit what we did last year as well, and it seemed to work. So doing it again this year, and it's working really well. So it's good.
Do you think you had enough? I mean, they were 6 for 111 at one stage. I could look at it and I thought, I think they're home. But then their tail wagged a bit. Were you getting a bit nervous?
Not really. We were pretty confident. We thought anything over sort of 160 to 180, we were going to be in the game for long enough and enough time to put enough pressure back on them and things like that. So, after day one, we were quietly confident and happy with the job. It's just we had to come out on day two and obviously execute it, which we were able to do as well. So, yeah, it turned out to be enough.
Did you think you had enough runs, Billy, yourself?
Yeah, well, we knew that, the ground was slow. So we knew sort of 167 was probably 190, 180, 190. I didn't think we had enough, although number 50 in flying. But, yeah, we grabbed a couple on the jump and then sort of restricted them to the middle. Bowl on that second day.
When it's, as a captain, when it's none for 50 and it's getting towards under 100 to win, and they've still got all the wickets left in the shed, what are you thinking as a captain and how do you remain calm?
We weren't real calm, but we're sort of going it a bit, but it's the beauty about our team is we've got sort of 4 or 5 guys to bounce off. But, you just look to your best 2 bowlers, and that's what we did. Paddy bowled his heart out. Rummer again, just controlled the game. So we just basically went back to what we know, and then, we're able to get a couple and put a bit of pressure on. Lockie broke the game open as well after we sort of grabbed 1 or 2. And, he bowled really well for his few overs coming back from injury, and then, Paddy and Rummer finished it off. A few run-outs as well.
Ricky said last week you haven't really been at your best for most of the season. Is that accurate?
Yeah, it is. We sort of haven't really put a full game together, both sides of the game. So we might have 1 week we bat well, next week we don't bowl so well, or vice versa. We're good for moments and then we sort of drop away a little bit. And we just can't put a complete performance together, or haven't, but we've obviously been able to do enough. So.
And Glenn, your team's been a bit inconsistent. I mean, as you said, provided you're playing well at the right time of the year, that's the most important thing. And you managed to get into the finals. Sorrento were storming home with a good end of the year. But what do you put your inconsistent form to?
I think the comp's a super tight comp. Anyone on any day can win. You sort of saw Sorrento went from fighting for relegation to fighting for a final spot over they almost were going to get relegated, a little outright there, here and there, and things like that. And then all of a sudden, they're fighting for a final spot in a 2-week period where it can spin so quickly. Anyone can beat anyone. The format of being 7 one-dayers, 7 two-dayers, teams are stronger in certain parts. I just think that the comp itself it's the strength of the comp that's probably the main thing, and the evenness.
And Billy, it is a great comp, and your team came up. There was one year where you dominated in Peninsula and then lost the grand final narrowly in a heartbreaker to Long Island. You won it the next year, and since you've come up, you've been a very good side. What do you put that down to?
I just think it's our togetherness as a group. We're pretty much all been at Pines for a very, very long time. Most of us from juniors, with the exception of the Jacksons, but they sort of count as Pines anyway. I just think when it gets tough, we can look to you, mate, or your 5 mates, 6 mates, 7 mates, whoever it is, and you just bounce off each other. You're always sort of calm, and then you want to play for the badge. So that's what I'd put it down to the whole time. I think we're all sort of naturally gifted, but probably not the smartest at times. But I'd put it down to that.
And do you feel more pressure on yourself because you're a very important batter and bowler in that side, that when the top order might be working with the bat, that you've got to make runs, and how do you ensure that you don't let that pressure get to you, and the same with the ball?
Yeah, not so much. You're sort of just playing with mates, so it's sort of natural for how it's been all childhood. So it's not real different. You just, obviously you want to do your best at every chance you get. And if our top order doesn't fire, we bat deep enough to, whether it's myself, Rama, Paddy down the lower order. Lockie went up, got a 50, so we sort of got enough depth. We know we sort of got enough depth both sides of the game. It's not your turn that week. It might be someone else's next week.
Do you feel that with Red Hill too, Glenn? I mean, your Englishman this year, Calderson's been okay, and we know Simon's been good. You've done a good job with the ball, and other players have stepped up. Do you think when it's their turn to make runs or take wickets, they've managed to do it this year, particularly in the back half of the year? Yeah,
it's been a little bit inconsistent with the bat, but I think nearly everyone in the top 7's made a 50, which is great. But then obviously there hasn't happened enough where it's been back-to-back. And then with the ball, we've been super consistent as well. But it's just with the comp being so hard that you see everyone bats so deep. Everyone bowls so deep. It's not like when you're coming up through the grades where, if you get through the first 3 in the top order, you can only run through them, or vice versa. You can just sit on the first couple opening bowlers and then you're away. It's just, the depth of everybody is actually quite strong.
It is a great comp because when you think what Old Peninsula did a few years ago, and they went back-to-back and they're going down.
Yep.
And that team is not dissimilar to what they had that won the title, Billy, 2 years in a row. So if you have one off year, you can go down to the next division pretty quickly, can't you?
Yeah, 100%. Well, that was nearly us when we came up first. We were sort of similar to Sorrento, battling for almost relegated, and then we got them on a good run after Chrissy and just snuck into the 4, and then I think POB won it that year anyway. Yeah. So it does happen quick, as Glenn said. The comp's pretty strong, so anything can happen.
We had the same the first 2 years we came up. It was just by chance. I think we stayed up by a wicket one year, and then we needed 24 off the last over and a half to stay up, and we got it against POB. And then the next 2 years we've gone won a grand final and playing in the grand final. So it's anyone that goes down, it's you could pretty much just toss a coin, because you only have to be off your game a little bit and or have a couple of bad weeks and you're in strife. But then if you have a couple of good weeks in turn, you can also set your whole year up.
Are you comfortable that there's no extra day if required because of the fact that we're going from cricket into football straight
I haven't actually looked at the forecast, so I'm hoping. Should I be comfortable?
I hear it's okay. I hear it's okay. But I mean, but you know what Melbourne's weather's like.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been outstanding, bar last Sunday, and you guys weren't playing, of course. And there were some teams in other associations that were a little bit unlucky that they didn't get an opportunity to finish a game they were probably on top of, but they were the lower ranked teams, so they miss out. But it, to me, would be almost unfair, wouldn't it, that we don't get a proper result in the grand final?
Yeah, it's probably ridiculous we don't have a reserve day in a grand final. I understand it for semis and all that kind of stuff, but and we've had it for ever long. We used to play 3-day grand final and have a reserve day on the back end of that. So it used to be almost like 4 days of grand final. Now we've gone back to 2, and then not even a reserve day. So yeah, that's a very strange one. Yeah,
because Bill, as I was talking to Glenn before we were on air, that you had a situation where you had 2 one-dayers on a Saturday and a Sunday. So you had 2 rounds, played them one weekend. That didn't happen this year. You had an extra week for Christmas. You probably played a week further up to Christmas, but an extra week after Christmas, which means that it sort of pushed the season back a bit, didn't it?
Yeah, it does. And then, I mean, everyone likes a break over Chrissy. I did,
Yep.
Especially those with families and that. So you take the extra week, but obviously it's got to give somewhere. So you sort of just deal with it. But yeah, I do agree that there definitely should be a reserve day for a granny.
I'm happy with it. Yeah, I'm happy with that extra week over Chrissy. I love it with the kids and the family and with work and stuff. And that's where sort of that last 2 years we've got used to having that Saturday, Sunday. And as I was saying, last year how they structured up with that Tuesday night where the twos got to play a T20 on a Tuesday night. It was really good because a lot of the twos guys have never sort of had that standalone game. So that was really, really cool. And everyone at the club got around it. And I think that could have been something that really took off. So I was surprised to see that. To be honest, I just assumed that was we had the Sunday game until it got to after Christmas. And then I'm like, so when's the Sunday game? And then realised there was no Sunday game. I just gathered it was happening. Because,
I mean, in that situation when you've got families, you can plan well ahead. OK, this is the weekend we've got double cricket. We'll work everything else around.
And the buy-off is, hey, we don't go back that first week anyway at Christmas, so we can stay longer somewhere if we're away on holidays or things like that. Because I remember there was years ago where it fell on the 3rd. I reckon the Saturday was like the 3rd of January. Yeah. And I was driving back from Echuca the morning of the game and it was that 45-degree day and then I got called off halfway, so then turned around and headed back. But that was hard, but now getting the extra week, it's actually perfect, yeah.
Just on the heat, because we've had games that have been rained out. I mean, this year's been a lot better, hasn't it? But unless it's 45 or 40 plus, do you think we need to look at the situation and, I suppose, be sensible and think, OK, if it's under 40, we've played in conditions like this before, we can probably get through, but we just make sure we organise more drinks breaks? Over 40, I understand, but under 40?
Yeah, I don't mind. I love the heat. So I've played cricket in summer now for 20 odd years. It'd be like saying we need to call off the footy because it's too wet. So I think, we've played forever and played in hot enough conditions. I think as long as you're sensible about it all and just a few extra drinks and just makes the beer taste better when you come off the ground of a night time, doesn't it?
Oh, it certainly does, Glenn. It certainly does. And talking of beers, of course, Brenty Brothers Brewery's been one of the major sponsors this year with a number of the clubs, and we thank them for jumping on board this year. James and Justin and the crew at Brenty Brothers, also Blackout Electrical, Telstra Business Technology Centre of Melbourne South, Swiv's Locker, and also GameFace Vision. So a quick look at the games from the weekend. So as I said, Red Hill played Lang Warren. We mentioned that Red Hill compiled a competitive 8 for 212. Simon Dart had an ankle injury. He couldn't bowl, but he could certainly bat. He made 72. And Andrew Smith, Glenn, bowled pretty well for Lang Warren with 4 wickets. But you managed to probably sit on Matt Prosser, who's one of the best bowlers in the comp. You would have been happy with that. Yeah,
I think they all bowled well. It was a very good bowling performance. Just being able to see out the 80 overs, we're able to sort of tick that run rate up a little bit in those last sort of 10 to 15 overs, I guess, and get ourselves to a competitive total being just over 200. So, but Andrew Smith bowled very, very well.
And a lot of the Langy guys got starts. The Prosser boys, Jake and Matt, certainly got going, but they didn't have enough players get big enough scores. In fact, no one got big enough scores. Damiano got 32. Taylor Smith top scored with 46 not out. He was involved in a 10th wicket stand with Andrew Smith. So you weren't too nervous when that partnership kept building and building and building?
No, it was quite strange. There was no real nerves because I don't think at any point there was no sort of drop catch or a missed run-out opportunity where you've thrown it to the wrong end or something like that can create a little bit of panic in the group. We're actually able to just to hold on. They just batted well. They bat deep, so we sort of knew that. We knew that wicket would be hard to get. And then, we just had to just hold on for long enough really and just take the chance when it came and it eventually came, so...
Was it relief or delight?
Bit of both, yeah. A bit of both for a lot of hard work this year. It's a completely different group to last year. We've got a lot of young fellas playing this year, playing vital roles for us in key positions. So it's great to get them into the squad and be able to then go up and challenge for another grand final in provincial.
What would it mean to win back-to-back?
Haven't thought about it too much, to be honest. History shows it happens a lot in provincial. Yes. Happens a lot. So hopefully history's on our side. In the last sort of, I think 7 years, I think 3 teams have gone back-to-back in 7 years or something like that, or 3 teams have gone back-to-back in 8 years. So there's a bit of history on our side. So I haven't thought about it, to be honest. Last year was probably more the relief, finally ticking off the provincial flag for the club in its 101-year history. So to go back-to-back would be pretty special. Doesn't happen.
Now, in your game, Bill, against Dramana, we mentioned it was a low-scoring game. The Pythons batted first, made 167. So you're a little bit disappointed with that, or you didn't think it was too bad, as you said earlier, because of the slowness of the outfield?
Yeah, we thought sort of 180 was real competitive.
Yeah.
Probably obviously a little bit short than that, but we sort of ballpark in 160, 180. And we'll at least give ourselves a good chance. I mean, they're obviously a strong batting team.
Yeah.
Dramana, they've got a lot of talent, but we thought if we bowl well, field well, then we're in with a real shot.
You worked hard for your 35. Happy with the way you batted?
I did have to work hard. I got a nice chance from guys that dropped the fence, but look, that's my role in that middle order. It is what it is. It's a bit situational. Sometimes I got to grind it out or try and get on with it, but that was good.
Can a 35 and a semi mean a lot more than maybe a 60 or 70 in a home and away game?
Yeah, I think it depends on the outcome really and the situation. If we get 35 and lose, not really. Because obviously you should go on with it, but to get the win at the end of the day, I would have been happy to make 0 and win. So,
yep.
Sam Fowler's had a great year, 3 for 52 with the ball. Jai Vogel 3 for 27. We mentioned it was a gettable target. We also mentioned that Bo Anthony, who can take a game away, and I think early in the season, the opening game, we called that game, Glenn.
Yes.
He got his team going and they were able to pass what was a pretty good score that you posted in a 40-over game at the start of the season at Dramana. So Bo Anthony and Sam Fowler put on 50 for the first wicket. One stage over 3 for 78, but they lost 7 for 49. So you didn't lose your focus, Billy. You were comfortable, you were cool, calm and collected. So that's a great effort.
Yeah, it was. As I said, we fielded really well. We had 2 really good run-outs at key times. That really sort of tipped the game in our favour a little bit. And then, we were just able to roll on from there, so it was good.
Paddy Jackson took 3 wickets and Ricky Ramsdale and Lockie Jackson 2 each. Rama, in his older age, more shine retiring, or does he still fire up out on the field?
No, he still definitely fires up. Still got fire on favour.
It's Rama, come on.
But Rama's great for us. Like he's been the leader of our club for last 10 years. We're close to 15 on and off. So he's unreal to have. And I hope he's not retiring. So. And
he would have been, no doubt, boasting about Collingwood getting over the Bulldogs despite the free kick count being 33-14 in favour of Collingwood. Rama, if you're listening, welcome.
No, to Ram's credit, actually, he said Dogs were probably pretty hard done by, but he was,
really?
Yeah, he was humble, which was nice.
You've got the wrong guy. Must be the wrong guy.
Yeah, credit's due. So.
Absolutely. So it's going to be Pines. It's going to be obviously Red Hill playing at Pines. Glenn, the fact that you are the away team, does that take a bit of pressure off you?
Potentially. Over the years, I've won and lost as many semi-finals, grand finals, finishing first, second, third, fourth. It doesn't really matter too much. We're able to go to Pat Rollo last year and beat them at Pat Rollo. So why not go to the new facility and do it there?
I think we'll be in the media centre, so we're looking forward to that.
I haven't
been there yet. I've been to a lot of the new facilities, but
very
I've had the pleasure of getting down to Eric Bell Reserve. And what's it like playing it at home again, Bill?
It's good. It is good. Familiar surroundings. Hopefully get a few of the footy club down and make it a good atmosphere. Red Hill had great numbers last year. I think easier for us. We could just sort of roll in, get a roll from the bakery. Shout out Pines Forest Bakery, one of the greats. Good.
Looking forward to it. It'll be fantastic. And why do you win, Glenn?
I think our calmness at the moment. We've got a good feeling around the group and quite calm and relaxed and at peace with the game at the moment. So it's it's just got a good feeling about it.
What about you, Billy?
Yeah, it's similar. Very similar. I think we just back ourselves and trust our processes and trust our mates. So tick that box, we'll be right.
Can't wait. It's going to be ripping. Now, in Peninsula, Rosebud has suffered just one loss all season. And again, their bowling attack was too strong to inflict Long Island's 6th loss in a row. At Christmas, they were the best team in it. After Christmas, they've hardly looked like it. Put them out of contention. Long Island was rolled for 148. It's their batting which just let them down after Christmas. Michael Burke made half the score with 76. Paddy Nagle claimed 3 wickets. And Ash Nagle, Sam Jones and Hicks 2 apiece. In reply, the Buds lost just 2 wickets in reaching the target. Will Jewell continued his consistent form with 65 not out. They've been a very good side, gentlemen, all year. Just 1 loss, very consistent. We've spoken about it a few times that in the off-season look like they may not even exist coming into this season. So they've done a lot of work off the field to get teams. And then when they've been on the field, they've been very hard to beat, Glenn.
Yeah, they've been sensational. I think my cousin Liam might have got a 30-odd again, yes. Not out, which is great. So
he did well. Yeah,
so it's better than all the golden ducks he was making prior to Christmas, and then made one Christmas Day as well, so even better. It's great to see Will Jewell making some runs at the top there too. So
that's Nick's son, isn't it?
It's Nick's son, so it was a good weekend in the Jewell household.
Yeah, of course, South Caulfield won it again in the Southern Bayside cricket competition, beating Bond Beach. When you lose just one game, Billy, and I know you guys sort of went through that, didn't you, in Peninsula a few years ago, are you a step closer to a loss?
It depends how you look at it, I think. You get a lot of confidence from winning games, obviously. Yeah. Winning breeds confidence. So I just think if Rosebud trust their processes, back the Nagels in, and then, they should be right.
They take on Mornington, who've made it 5 wins on the trot, including beating Mount Eliza twice in consecutive weeks. And on the weekend was the semi. Both bowling lineups performed well, with Mornington kept to 8 for 167. Their playing coach, and what a terrific player he's been. He won 3 premierships at Ringwood in the Premier Cricket competition. He moved into the area and he's come to the club as a playing coach. He held them together. He's bowled magnificently, but he held them together with the bat with 45 not out. Reuben Higgins and Nick Barron both took 3 wickets for Mount Eliza. They got several starts, and it's been a little bit of an issue outside Talbot, who failed with a duck, and Googe, who was forced to retire hurt, so only 9 wickets needed in the end for Mornington to get the job done. Cotter with Kaku 27 and Jai Sakara 25, but not enough, as they finished well short at 9 for 121. And Bryce McGain took 4 wickets, and Cameron Moon took 3. They sat on Brendan Walsh, but Bill, it's been a great effort by Mornington, winning 5 in a row. So it was a great performance by the Bulldogs to make it 2 in a row against Mount Eliza.
Yeah, good win. Very good win. It's those sort of in-between titles are pretty hard. They can be pretty hard. But, obviously, Bowl, Bryce is obviously champion of the game. So definitely helps having him in your team.
Got a good lineup, Mornington. Really good lineup, adding Walsh. And obviously, Cam Moon's been a very good player for a long time now, and he's still young, and he's been going very well as well.
Their batting's not outstanding, and that might be a little bit of an issue. But then again, the bowling of Rosebud's very good, so it might be a low-scoring match at Rosebud, which is a ground again that's pretty slow too. So
just what Nick's adding, because it could be super slow. I think the home ground advantage, and especially at Rosebud, will suit Rosebud. I know I'm talking to Liam over Christmas, and I was saying how much of an advantage it is, because they know how to play that ground really, really well. And we actually, when we played down there, going through the grades, it was a tough ground to sort of try and judge for run-outs and things like that, because there's quicker parts of it, really, really slow parts of it. So, I think Mornington might have their work cut out for them.
Mount Eliza had a good year, guys, didn't they? I remember their batting outside Googe and Talbot probably lacked a bit. Cotter with the Kaku took a lot of wickets. They had 4 guys taking a combined total of 100 wickets this year. Higgins, the Barons, and Cotter with the Kaku. But he didn't make a lot of runs. Jai Sakara, their new recruit, didn't make a lot of runs either. But their bowling was certainly pretty good. But it's probably one that got away a bit for them, wasn't it?
Yeah, especially with the likes of adding Talbot into the lineup as well, who's had an unbelievably good year with the bat, and obviously when you've got both the Barron boys with the ball and then adding a couple of the Sri Lankan lads into it, they've been a very good team for a couple of years now, and they just haven't been able to get over the line.
To district now, and the most incredible of the 8 finals in the top 4 grades was top team Carrum Downs. For the 3rd year in a row, they've been the highest seed in a semi-final, and they've got beaten. Now, on this occasion, they probably had this game in the bag on a few occasions, so they missed out on going into a grand final despite being clear favourites. As I say, it happened last year and it happened the year before. They had a home semi-final against Bonio. Now, Bonio had won 6 and lost 6, and there was a period there in this competition where no one wanted 4th spot. Carrum had it for a little while but didn't win after Christmas. Crib Point had it for a little while but were inconsistent, and then Bonio managed to get it after coming up from sub-district last year. They bowled well to dismiss the Cougars for just 131. Gordon Waterfall produced a lone hand with 47, but they had an awful collapse, losing 6 for 21 from 4 for 110. So they would have been disappointed with that. Umesh and Beale picked up 3 wickets each for Bonio. Now, talking of gone, they were maxed. Max gone. They were absolutely gone, Bonio. They stumbled from 4 for 65 to 9 for 69. And they lost 4 wickets on 69. So they were 5 for 69. And now, Glenn, you know quite a few guys from Bonio. You played at Bonio. That just looked gone, didn't it? At 9 for 69, you would have thought, well, it's going to be Carrum Downs in the final.
Yeah, we're keeping a close eye on it, sort of the lunch break and then sort of at a couple of the drinks breaks. And we wrote that one off. We've got a few lads in the team and around the club also from Bonio, so we'll sort of watch that one quite closely. And yeah, that was done. And then to come off the ground and hear whispers that Jarvis has hit a 6 when they needed 5 to win, and the last wicket partnership has gone from, they've put on 70 odd in the last wicket. Stuff dreams are made of, the old hitting a six to win.
Well, we'll get to that in a second because it was white knuckle stuff as their last pair, Jarvis Anderson and Umesh, dragged them over the line. Anderson 44 not out and Umesh an unbeaten 14. And here, we've managed to get it from Frogbox. We've managed to get it from Play HQ. Is the last shot, and you can tell the disappointment in defeat and the delight in victory where Jarvis Anderson needed to get his team over the line. And here's the last shot for the Bonio and Carrum Downs match. Unbelievable shot from Jarvis Anderson. Not only, they needed 5 to win. He's hit a 6 and just made it look easy in the end. Bill, an unbelievable performance when you're 9 for 69 and to just have the confidence to get over the line from that particular situation.
Yeah, massive effort. Like that is, as Glenn said, that's a game that you just ticked off and it was done. I've seen that as well this year as well. In the Country Week game, we bloke it a 6 to win.
Yeah.
It is, as Glenn said, what stuff's made of, so dreams are made of.
When you've been through what Carrum Downs has been through and they've lost 2 semis when they've been the favourites, do you start to panic when the runs start whittling down? I mean, obviously, as we've said, when they're 9 for 69, you're thinking, well, we're going to win it this time, but when it gets to less than 50, it gets less than 40, it gets less than 30, do you start to panic?
I think everybody's going to say no, but I think deep down inside they probably do, knowing the back and the history, and then it sort of all starts building up. And although you genuinely might not actually feel it, but I reckon it's probably in you at that point, losing a couple when you've been the favourite, and then you sort of feel it happening again, and you're starting to lose control of the actual situation of the game. I reckon it'd be a shocking feeling.
Bill, do you think cricket's like footy? I mean, you can notice in footy when a team gets a run on, they kick 5 or 6 in a row and you just can't stop the momentum. Can cricket be a bit like that when you know you're nearly there, you need 1 wicket and you just can't get that wicket, and everything you try and players get a bit tighter and half chances don't quite work out, or someone might drop a difficult catch, or unfortunately they drop an easy catch because they just get a bit tight and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, 100%. It is like that. When a team, especially in those last 2 wickets of any innings, are the hardest ones to take always, because you naturally go, sweet, it's going to happen. That's happened to us this year. Langy got away from us. We had them 8 for 80 or something. They made Tay and Trav put on 80, so it happens. But I think, at the end of the day, Carrum Downs will be better for it. Obviously, it's going to hurt now, but they're there or thereabouts. They just need that to go their way and little half chance, and, they'll get theirs.
Because I think if they had gone up, Glenn, they would have been pretty competitive.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they've got a great team. Yeah, they've had a great team for a few years now. I think it might be one of those ones they'll find that when they finally break the ice and actually get up, that it might be easier, and you might actually see them sort of climb the ranks quite quickly. But they've just got to win the one that counts.
Well, Bonio, as we said, after coming up from sub-district, will meet Balnearing, who came up from sub-district the year before. And they did a great job, Balnearing, because they took on Flinders in their semi, chased down successfully a good score of 235, a high-scoring, entertaining game. Walters made 61 and Wilkinson, after winning our player of the round, the last round of the season the previous week, got 54 for Flinders. Luke Hewitt, what a player he is, took 3 wickets, and Balnearing passed that challenging total, thanks again to their inspirational playing coach, Luke Hewitt, who was 86 not out. Teenager Sam Field probably didn't bat as well in the second half of the year as he did in the first year. He ended a great year with 3 wickets. But, Bill, he's a star, Luke Hewitt, isn't he? He just performs when he has to and has most weeks.
Yeah, exactly right. Big players stand up in the big moments. So, he's been a very, very good player for a number of years. And, he's obviously dragged them over the line. I think Flinders are a young group, and I reckon they'll be back next year, no doubt. Field is an absolute champion. He's going to be a champion. So, but massive effort from Lukey.
He's a great player, Luke Hewitt, Glenn, isn't he?
Superstar. But as Bill said, I think you'll see Flinders. They'll be better for it. I think they've had an unbelievable year with the end of the year that Max has had. Then you've got Sammy Fowler, you've got Beggs' young fella. They've got a really good young sort of core group coming up and through. And if they stick together, which I'm not sure what Sammy's doing next year, but a few of them might go on and play probably higher grades, you would think. But yeah, if they stick together, they'll be a very, very good team in years to come.
Well, Balnearing have won 8 on the trot, and they beat Bonio in round 13 at a pretty tight game by 23 runs. But Bonio did beat them in round 2, dismissing them for just 85. Should be an interesting game. You have to say Balnearing are the favourites. They'll play it at home. But Bonio will have confidence after finding a way to win, won't they?
Absolutely. And same thing, Balnearing's got a really good lineup. We've played against him in the T20, and Ben King's got us a few times, even back in the day when Ben was at French Island. We played him over in French Island when we were coming up through the ranks, and he got us over there as well. So he's been against Red Hill. It's been a bit of a happy hunting ground for him. So yeah, we've seen the best of him. But yeah, with both of the Hewitts and obviously Benny King, and it should be a really, really good game. Both teams match up pretty well.
And what do you think, Bill, in this particular one?
Yeah, I agree. I reckon it'll be a real tight one. I fancy Balnearing, but I do think it'll be a good game. I think Lukey gets another big score and drags him over the line.
You both thought Rosebud would beat Mornington, didn't you? I mean, because the fact it's at Rosebud, yeah. They've beaten them twice this year. Mornington have battled a bit against them, but should be a fascinating game. And just the back-to-back with Red Hill and Pines, of course, you didn't play in round 1. It got rained out. And then Red Hill were beaten by Pines in round 12. Now to sub-district, and Rye's winning run extended to 10. They were one of only 2 teams, Mount Martha the other, in the home and away season that played every single game. As Ball dominated bat against YCW in their semi. We had Daniel Salvato on the show last week from YCW. He said the winner of that game would probably win the title. Rye was underwhelming with the bat, out for 118. Gunnar Thinger top scored with just 28. Liam Greenwood, magnificent for YCW with 5 wickets with the ball. And it was a score that YCW would have fancied themselves to reach, but they had a shocker. They were routed for 78. No one made 20 for YCW, as Long and Palagarouge got 5 wickets each in a brilliant display. And Palagarouge, 338 runs and 37 wickets this year. It's been an unbelievable effort by Rye, guys, because they were 1-4. And I remember, as I've said a few times, having Adam Civarella on after a couple of narrow losses to Tyab and YCW respectively early in the season. He said, Dan, we're not far away. And he was right, because they didn't drop a game. It turned in round 6. Everyone else got washed out. They played against, it was a bit controversial, but they managed to get on. They said it was a little bit wet, Glenn, just a little bit wet. But Palagarouge took 8 for, and they managed to win that game. And from then on, they haven't looked like losing, Billy. So they go in with a lot of confidence. Again, I worry when a team has had such a big winning run before a grand final, but they've just found a way to win. Yeah, as you said earlier, it's just like that momentum with footy. It's, winning breeds confidence. So they'll go in confident and back themselves, and that'll be another good game. And they'll play Tyab, who ended a tight home and away season on top, and they batted well, making 8 for 261 against Tutkarook. And they had some good scores. Reagan made 72, Bridgman scored 56, And for Tutgaruk, Harnett and Clark, 2 wickets each. Now, Tut fell 75 runs short despite the Herculean efforts of Matthew Whelan, who's been their best player and has performed well. When he's had to perform well, he produced a magnificent even 100. So it's great to see Rye, who have struggled for many years, finally started to get a team together, a chance to win a premiership. Tiber there as well, playing off for the flag. So it should be a great game, Glenn.
Yeah, it should be. And as you're saying, Rye's won both ways. One with the ball, one with the bat this year. Rye's got a very good lineup with, Benny Ashworth, Nathan Hunt at the top, who both sort of misfired on the weekend. So they're going to be quite dangerous for them. And obviously they're actually probably due for a good batting innings. And I think you'll find whoever makes the most runs will win that one.
Oh, that's right, Glenn. That's what happens in cricket. Yes, thank you very much. Good to have the wise comments of Glenn Collett with us here from Red Hill. Bill, who wins the game?
I think Tyre get over the line in a close one.
And overall, boys, the season, enjoyed the season? Been a good one?
Loved it. Yeah, getting older, so you take each year as it comes. But this year I've really enjoyed it.
You expect Darty to go again if you win it?
Yeah, I reckon he'll go again, actually. Yeah, I've got a good feeling. So, I think he'll go again.
What does he bring to the club outside his brilliance as a cricketer?
Oh, well, he's been there for 15 years now, so he's brought more than enough. And as long as he keeps bringing us runs on the next Saturday and Sunday, he can do whatever he likes.
And what would you like to do, Bill? Battle bowl first?
Yeah, I think runs on the board's always handy. Just take the pressure off, but yeah, also it depends. If it's a good day for bowling, then you just sort of take it as it comes. Yeah,
it'll be interesting what happens. Looking forward to it. We'll be down there certainly on Saturday at this stage. Randa and Ashadi will be with me as well. They've been with me all year, holding my hand, getting me over the line. So we thank them very much. We thank all our sponsors, Swift's Locker. We also thank, and of course you can go down to their showroom at Cheltenham. We thank Telstra Business Technology Centre of Melbourne South, GameFace Vision, Breeny Brothers, Justin James and the entire team, Breeny Brothers Brewery. Great to have them on board this year. And also Blackout Electrical. Good luck to Red Hill and also to the Pines Cricket Club. Billy Humphrey's been here from Pines, Glenn Collett from Red Hill, and we also wish the other teams all the best. Rosebud and Mornington, who are taking part, of course, in the district grand final. We've got the big game between Balnarring and also Bonio. In the Peninsula grand final, it's going to be Rosebud and Mornington, and in sub-district, it'll be Tyab and also Ryan. Good luck to all the other teams in the lower grades as well. Going to be a great end to the season, and we will have a review of the season next week before we fire up for the football season. Enjoy your week. We'll catch up with you very soon.